What's going on, Pixar fans? Dan Taylor from danthepixarfan.com back once again, and as a follow-up to my Halloween Toy Story of Terror merch haul video, today I'm back with another haul, but this time it's everything in my collection from Pixar's second TV holiday special, Toy Story That Time Forgot, which of course is centered around Christmas time, so I figured now that we're right in the middle of the holiday season, there's no better time to check out all this sweet merch inspired by the film, which aired, wow, 7 years ago at this point, back on December 2nd, 2014.
Well, this seems festive.
Now, I won't necessarily be reviewing each item here since there is a lot to go through, so this isn't a detailed unboxing or anything like that. It's more of just a quick, well, as quick as possible, overview to show you all what's out there. But if you would like me to cover anything here in a separate video review, let me know down in the comments, and if I get enough support, I'll go ahead and make that for you all as well. I've also reviewed all these items in detail on my blog over the years, so I'll drop my blog post links in the description as well if you're interested in reading those. Alrighty guys, let's just get right into things here, starting with Mattel's 4-inch to 5-inch scale Toy Story That Time Forgot action figure collection, which was released back in the fall of 2014, right around the time when the TV special aired. And the first item here is the Battleopolis 3-pack featuring Reptilis Maximus, the Cleric, who is exclusive to this set, and Battle Armor Buzz Lightyear.
Welcome to Battleopolis.
Now, Reptilis and Buzz were both also available on individual cards as well, but obviously it made the most sense for me to just get them here in this set with the exclusive Cleric. I should also note that, yes, Buzz is never seen wearing battle armor in Toy Story That Time Forgot. Same goes for Woody. So they could technically kind of be qualified as like expanded universe figures. At least the battle armor is inspired by and totally in line with the armor seen in the special though, so it's not completely made up here. And who knows, maybe at one point during the film's development, Buzz and Woody were supposed to wear battle armor. There could have been concept art that they were based on, or probably more likely Mattel's design team came up with them. Anyway, these are all really fantastic figures. I absolutely love them. I especially love the detail there of how the Cleric has real rolling wheels, just like in the film. By the way, this collection was advertised as being only at Walmart on all the TV commercials, but I know they also did hit the Disney Store's website for a short time and Amazon as well. I actually remember how excited I was to finally find this assortment back in the day, since all of the figures were pretty hard to find. And now, all of these years later, of course, now they're incredibly difficult to track down for any kind of reasonable price, so I'm really happy I got them at the time. And now, before moving on to the rest of the individually carded figures in this assortment, here's the outstanding back of the box showcasing most of the rest of the characters in this line. It's all of them minus the Goliathon, but just look at how they're presented here with this amazing toy photography. I love the whole rock display, diorama, whatever you want to call it. It's totally in theme with the Battlesaur environment seen in the short, and not only that, it's just so cool in general that the figures are even presented like this on the box here. You just don't see this kind of photography on toy packaging anymore, and I'm sure that this was inspired by the retro action figures of the 80s, when it was really the common style to have this kind of image on the toy boxes and in toy catalogs, like as seen here with the vintage Kenner Star Wars figures and Mattel's vintage Masters of the Universe figures, among many, many others. The Battlesaurs themselves seem to be a nod to or paying homage to the vintage 80s TV series and toy line called Dino Riders, so it makes total sense that Mattel would want to try and capture that feel a little bit here on the packaging. Okay, well, there we have your brief look at the Battleopolis 3-pack and a little bit of an overview of the line, so let's get right into the remainder of the figures here. Next up is Battle Armor Woody, which again isn't actually canon to the film since Woody is never seen wearing battle armor, but it's a pretty cool figure nonetheless. We got his Battlesaur sword there. I like how Mattel made the weapons translucent, just like how they should be. And check it out, he even has this little Battlesaur dagger there in his holster. That's actually really neat looking. It almost makes me wish that we did see Woody and Buzz get armored up in the film to fight. That could have been pretty sweet, I guess. But ultimately, I'm sure that just didn't fit the story that they were trying to tell. So yeah, here's the back of the package. Again, there's more of that super sick vintage-inspired toy photography of the characters. Obviously, it's the same diorama as the one on the back of the Battleopolis box, but the figures here are arranged slightly differently. By the way, the image here is the same one used on the back of all the individually carded figures, so I won't really need to touch on each one. Next up, we have Battle Armored Trixie, another awesomely detailed and true to the character figure in this line. By the way, I so wish that we could have gotten a real full-scale line of the Battlesaur toys, like how they appear in the film, packaging and all, but at least we got these, which was more than I ever expected at the time. And here's Rex with his battle armor. He looks excellent as well. I love his mechanical arms, again, straight out of the film. I haven't opened any of these up yet, since at this point I'm kind of just waiting to open them up with my son Aiden, since he's almost old enough, but man, I'm excited to finally get these guys out. The next one is the Raptorian Guard, complete with Battle Spear, or Battle Blade as it's called. And you don't know how tempting it was to get a mess load of these for army building back in the day, but I just couldn't justify it. And these weren't that easy to find anyway, like I mentioned, so I just got one here. Such a cool looking figure though. Every single one of these figures here has a really awesome sculpt. Last but not least, here we have the mighty Goliathon, which is really more of a deluxe figure with that great open style packaging, and he's gotta be, in my opinion, the coolest one in this line. He looks just like he does in the film to a T, and he even has an opening mouth so that you can feed him some of the other figures as offerings, as you can see here on the back of the box. The back toy photography and layout is similar to the others, only this time Goliathon has been added there. But yeah, guys, really good stuff. So that was the full original 2014 line of Toy Story That Time Forgot figures, but it's not over yet. In July 2016, while Mattel was still making and releasing new waves of Toy Story figures in this 4-inch scale, we were blessed with this fantastic addition to the Toy Story That Time Forgot lineup, this Angel Kitty and Raygon 2-pack, two of my favorite characters from the special. And this release was so unexpected, I remember being so surprised and excited at the time. I didn't think we'd ever see more That Time Forgot figures, especially not a whole year and a half later and during summertime. Obviously, the packaging changed since this ended up getting released as part of the main all-encompassing line of Toy Story 4-inch figures, so this is what the packaging looked like that year. But yeah, it's all the same collection. I do wonder if these characters were originally planned to be released as part of the initial group, but had production delays or something like that, or if the idea to produce this set came a little later. But either way, I'm so happy we got these two. With the release of this set, we really did end up getting almost every single character in the film, which is pretty satisfying. Now, speaking of getting almost every character, we would have even had one more because, and here's something you might not know, Mattel also had the Battlesaur Brutes planned for release and even got so far as the prototype stage, but for some reason they ended up getting canceled, sadly. Man, that would have been so cool though. Anyway, a big thanks to a buddy of mine on Instagram, Jonathan Scheiman, Instagram handle TM Prototypes, for posting these photos and allowing me to share them here. I honestly would have never known about this canceled release otherwise. So yeah, the only Battlesaurs missing if we had gotten the Brutes would have been the female Elysian Guards and those little light green dog-like dinosaurs that run around. At any rate, another big thanks to Jonathan for providing these images of the unproduced Brutes figures. They look like they would have been so darn amazing, and it's pretty disappointing that they never saw the light of day. Okay, well that's a wrap on the 4-inch scale figures. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this Toy Story That Time Forgot Buddy Pack gift set, which was another later release. This set wasn't released until the spring of 2016 and was also an incredibly welcome surprise. These figures have long since been opened though, so I don't have the original packaging anymore, obviously, but I do have these photos of them still in the box from when I wrote my original blog post review back in May of 2016. If you know me, I'm a huge Toy Story Buddy Pack collector. By the way, I do plan on showing my entire Buddy Pack collection soon here on my channel. So anyway, yeah, I was insanely thrilled when I first saw this set, and it's such a fun addition to the line. In this gift pack, we have Woody in battle armor, Buzz in battle armor, the Cleric, Angel Kitty, Reptilis Maximus, Rex in battle armor, and Trixie in battle armor. And man, do I miss the Toy Story Buddy Pack figures. You go ahead and let me know down in the comments if you collected them as well. Next up is the actual tangible Blu-ray release of Toy Story That Time Forgot, and just like how I mentioned in my Toy Story of Terror haul video, I know That Time Forgot is available to stream on Disney Plus at this point, but if you're a big Toy Story fan who loves bonus behind-the-scenes content like I do, you'll want to grab this for your collection if you haven't already. If not, you're missing out on a short making-of documentary, deleted scenes, a Battlesaurs animated opening like what it would have been like if it was a real show, a director's audio commentary, and more. If you just want a taste of what what to expect, hit the card above to check out my full detailed blog post review, but really, just go ahead right to Amazon and get it for $8. It's totally worth having. And now for one of my favorite items in my collection. Here we have the Angel Kitty plush by Just Play Toys, released at Toys R Us for $9.99 back in the spring of 2015. This Angel Kitty released at the very same time and in the very same wave of little plushies as the Mr. Jones plush that I showed in my Toy Story of Terror haul video. And once again, this was kind of a lesser known release at the time. It kind of came and went without very much attention at all, and has since stayed relatively under the radar for many collectors. I totally knew way back then though that this obscure release that no one seemed interested in at the time would become rare, and that's exactly what happened. These days, this Angel Kitty typically sells for well over $100 on eBay. Now this plush does seem close to movie accurate size for sure, but I'd say if anything it's maybe a little bit on the smaller side. It's hard to tell how big Angel Kitty is in the film though, but this plush stands at about 6 inches tall, or 8 inches tall if you're counting the halo. Speaking of the halo, both the halo and the trumpet are a foam material rather than the plastic or metal they are in the film, but it's all good. The overall likeness here is pretty good, not perfect, but it's decent. All the materials used here are nice and soft, and her body is beanbag-like, which provides some weight, and it helps her sit up on her own. And then her eyes are plastic. At just $10, it's all relatively cheap, but honestly, I just love the fact that we even got an official Angel Kitty release. If you're interested in my full written blog post review with more details, be sure to visit that link below in the description. Now continuing on with the Angel Kitty theme, here we have the Mattel Toy Story Minis Angel Kitty that was released exclusively in a Minis Advent Calendar just last year, which I did already review here in detail on my channel. So I won't be spending any more time on this one, but I of course needed to share it here as part of this haul. If you're interested in learning more, be sure to check out my calendar video review for more details. Oh, something I did want to show here real quick though is this Minis Angel Kitty compared to the Buddy Pack Angel Kitty. The Buddy Pack version is on the left and the Minis version is on the right. Both look good in their own ways, so I'm not sure exactly which sculpt I like better, but I was surprised to see that the Buddy Pack Angel Kitty is even more mini than the Minis Angel Kitty. Anyway, what do you guys think? Which one do you like better if you had to choose? Next up is a more recent item, and it's this deluxe Toy Story 25th Anniversary release of Rex as part of Mattel's current 7-inch scale line, and this was released last year in 2020. In this really neat pack, you get Rex and several fun scene-building accessories directly from some of the most iconic Rex moments in the franchise. You get the gaming helmet as seen in Toy Story 2, his Viking helmet from Partysaurus Rex, and his mechanical Battlesaur arms as seen in Toy Story That Time Forgot, of course. So with that, this figure did qualify to be part of this haul since he is partially inspired by That Time Forgot. There were also deluxe build-up packs of Buzz and Woody released as well, so if you're interested in seeing those and reading all my full thoughts on those figures and this figure, once again, go ahead and hit that link below in the description. Ultimately, this is a very cool figure. I love toys that come with loads of accessories that help you build out scene-specific moments, so this release was right up my alley. So the next item here isn't specifically branded Toy Story That Time Forgot on the surface, but this Toy Story Storybook collection released in 2019 does actually have a fully illustrated story adaptation of That Time Forgot within it, along with 17 other Toy Story stories, including the Toy Story films 1 through 4, a couple of the Toy Story tunes like Small Fry and Partysaurus Rex, and even Toy Story of Terror, which is awesome since I mentioned in my Toy Story of Terror haul video that I wish they had released an illustrated version of the story and not just a version with screenshots like the one that I showed. I wasn't aware of this storybook until recently, so I'm glad that I discovered it. Anyway, so yeah, the rest of the stories here are extended universe type stories, and then of course we have Toy Story That Time Forgot starting on page 253. So let's go ahead and turn there, and I'll give you a little peek inside so that you can get a better sense of what this book is like and see some of its really well done illustrations. So yeah, really good stuff. You can pick up this on Amazon right now as a 304-page hardcover book for only $10, which is a really sweet deal. And there's also a digital version you can buy as well. I also wanted to mention that there's a separate digital storybook on Amazon, which is its own thing. It's totally unrelated to this book that I'm showing here. But this digital one features only screenshots from the film instead of being illustrated. It's much like the Toy Story of Terror book that I showed in that haul, only this one only ever got released as an ebook and was never available as a printed hard copy. I'll go ahead and put the link to both of these books down in the description if you're interested. Now, the very last item I have to share here today is this stunning Toy Story That Time Forgot poster designed by Hellboy creator Mike Mignola. This poster was given out for free to attendees of the Toy Story That Time Forgot panel at San Diego Comic-Con in July 2014, and since I didn't attend that Comic-Con, I was at least able to snag one on eBay soon after for just $40. Now, mine isn't signed by the filmmakers, voice talent, and artists like some were able to get, but I'm just happy to have it here as is regardless, since at this point, from what I know, this poster is very rare. And as far as size, the poster measures 22 by 15 inches, and it's incredibly cool with its stylized and a little bit more edgy design, for lack of a better word. I remember honestly being taken back by it a little bit at first, but then it really grew on me once I understood a little bit more of what they were trying to go for here. I also wanted to touch on the 2 full-scale Toy Story That Time Forgot Thinkway Toys Buzz and Woody figures that were released in 2014 as well, leading up to the tune airing on TV. Since these ones honestly never appealed to me, I never ended up getting them, so I don't have them to share with you today. However, if you do want to learn more about them, if there's something that interests you, be sure to check out my friends over at Pixar Post, as they did a detailed unboxing and review at the time of release. I would have much preferred if Thinkway had done a full-scale Reptilis or any of the Battlesaurs from the film, but these are what we got, and that was just a little disappointing to me. Anyway, well, that's it, everyone. Phew, what a haul. That was a lot to go through. I do think I covered most of the That Time Forgot merch and toys out there, but if I did miss anything that you know of, be sure to let me know. And thanks for sticking with me through all this, for the few of you who actually watched this whole thing. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing all the That Time Forgot merch, and I hope that this inspires you on your hunt to find all these items as well. And I hope that you have a wonderful and safe holiday. Can't wait to hear your thoughts down below, and I will catch you in my next video.